Hi. We didn't say hi in the last episode. We just kind of launched into it, which felt a little aggressive. I think it was 2 minutes before we said welcome to Catchupcast.
A little steep start there.
But, we went on hiatus. We're back.
Yeah.
This is episode 21 of Catchupcast. I'm Ethan.
I'm Isaac.
We didn't name ourselves last time either, so they probably got confused.
They should know our names by now. It's in the description.
It's fun to do. I like saying my name. But anyway, this is episode 21, which means, finally, our podcast can legally purchase alcohol.
I guess so, yeah.
So, that's something the podcast can do before I can.
You're listening to Catchupcast, the podcast where, believe it or not, we do not discuss condiments.
I feel like 21 is not that big of a deal.
It's like the last lock.
Right, that's so true.
And then then you can just do whatever you want.
21 and then 30.
But 30 doesn't.
30 doesn't mean you can do anything.
It's like now you're a real adult.
I know many 21-year-olds that are not really adults.
No, 30 being the real adult.
Yes, 30 being the
that's
real
like that's.
It's like the last milestone birthday before you have like your existential midlife crisis.
Assuming we're not in the midst of an existential midlife crisis already.
Well, no, but every birthday. When you're very young, every birthday is a celebration. It's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to like 10. And then like you're in your teens.
Right,
and, like,
13's big because that's like a teen. That's
really?
I don't know. It's a number.
Let's do it.
Isaac's gonna answer the phone.
Hello?
There.
Hello?
This is a good bit, hopefully. This happened on a podcast I listened to where some guy did insurance over the phone. Is it a person?
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I definitely don't, but yeah. For what? Can you say that again? Okay.
And Isaac just hung up on this person. Who was it?
It was a credit card company telling you that you have reward points that you need to cash in on.
Which, of course, I don't. A friend of mine, actually, he got a call, and I'm going to call him out. Sorry, Jack. He got a call from Apple saying that his account had fraudulent activity, so they needed to, get his credit card information so he could, they could do
they
fake
never
payments.
asked for a credit card
no,
over the phone.
But he gave it to them.
Oh, no.
So he got, $500 stolen from his account. He got it back. He went to
Is this the Jack that we know?
No, this is the Jack I go to school with.
I was going to say, he would also do that.
Oh, no, 100%. It worked out. The bank canceled the card and got all the money back.
Nice.
But I got the same phone call a week later, so thank God he got scammed. I mean,
right.
I probably wouldn't have fallen for it, because I'm not dumb. Just kidding. That was really mean. I know you were stressed about that, Jack.
So you have a computer sitting in front of you and a mic.
Yeah, I don't know why I yelled at the computer when the mic's there.
I'm
going to move the mic back a little bit.
Vocated to the computer instead of to the mic.
I'm used to yelling, because when we do it, over
right.
Hangouts, I'm talking to the computer. Because I don't have I could get my mic, but it's not. I'd have to take the file and upload it, whereas this records directly to it.
I gotcha.
And as I said last week, the quality's not that much different.
Probably not. Apparently my computer mic is not great.
It's been pretty good recently.
But
if you're judging with the Lost episodes, those had their own issues.
I was doing a video call yesterday, and I had to shout into it, which is so if the little dot on the laptop point is your mic, and you want your face nice and square to the camera or whatever, mm-hmm. So I'd have to lean into the mic. Have to lean into the mic
ASMR
and talk into it, which means my head is now out of the frame and
you
can just see the top corner.
Of my picture head. Your face on a stick and just hold it up while you're talking into the microphone.
And this kind of defeats the purpose. But
yeah. At that point, you should have just done a phone call.
It worked out.
It worked out, and that's the important thing. We were talking about birthdays.
Yes.
How it used to be significant.
Right.
And then it stops. 16, I feel like is a big deal.
16,
for
18,
some reason.
21.
Nothing changes. I guess you can drive.
Yeah.
18, you're an adult. You can vote. You can buy cigarettes, all that good stuff. 21, you can drink legally.
25, you can rent a car.
Oh, that's true. That's
right?
true.
Who's excited for that, folks?
cars are contributing to
Global warming.
global warming.
And you're most likely going to die in one.
Can't wait.
Yeah. But then after that, it's like
Whatever.
nobody really celebrates their 30th birthday or like.
Didn't you just name 30 as a big birthday like 2
Well,
months
no,
ago?
but like that's the next biggest birthday, and that's 8 years away. From,
Right, I
9
remember
years
I
away from
turned
21.
19 last year, so like sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
And 19, like who cares? 18's great. 20 is kind of cool because it's like, oh, it's a new decade.
2 decades.
But yeah.
And that goes to 50. And then
Assuming
you're
we
like, I
live
just
that
hope I
long.
lived to 100. Like,
My neighbor across the street had her 90th birthday this weekend.
That's pretty good.
And they had like a live band
that's
playing
awesome.
a bunch of like oldies, like 70s, 80s hits, which
Cool.
was fun because that's like kind of the music I'm
That's
into.
it. Yeah.
And then they just didn't stop playing, and I was trying to watch Star Trek, but I was also hearing like,
Tea party into
Beatles
the
and
night.
shit.
It was like a
No, it was-
all-nighter.
4 p.m. it ended, so which is night for a 90-year-old.
This is 4 a.m. I was like, oh my god.
No, because that
They know how to party.
I mean, you live 90 years, you sort of you've been through some of the biggest parties, because that's what the
90s is
how many years? What was
the
90
30s.
years ago? 29.
be the 30s. Yeah.
So I mean, the 30s was not a great
Well,
party
no,
time.
29. Yeah, I gotcha.
29 was not a great party time.
Neither was the 30s.
As of October, 30s not great. 40s.
I mean, you're in war.
Real
but
bomb
yeah.
of a time. Had a bomb.
45 though. That VD day. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah. And then the 50s, you got Elvis.
Right.
60s, you have protests and
You know what they say? If you don't remember the 60s, you weren't there.
and we weren't.
Wait, no, that's not how that goes.
That's not how that goes at all.
If you remember the 60s, you weren't there. And we don't remember.
We don't. Wait, does that mean we were there?
No.
This has turned into a bit of a history. We're just going through the decades now. The 70s.
Did you ever see that? Is it Tom Brokaw? The like decades. I think it's on Netflix now.
I'll have to look it up.
Where it's like it's a documentary series about the decades
Sounds
in
cool.
American history. It's pretty cool.
We're gonna enter a new decade next year. 2020.
Yeah.
That's not weird to think about.
Yeah.
I remember when it became 2010, and that was a big deal. And that was.
Coney 2012. Remember that scam?
Do you remember? It was like the last day of the the fall. I don't even know what seasons are. The fall term for school was our freshman year, and we had like an assembly, and they made like some guy came in a hard hat. It was like it's just because it was December 21st, 2012. And that was the day the world was supposed to end.
I really don't.
Oh.
What happened?
Just-
Hard hat guy?
Some guys came in hard hats and were like, "We're here to protect you,"
What?
or they were protecting Mr. Roberts. That might be what it was.
I have no idea what's going on.
And this story has no merit because the listeners weren't there either.
Well, what? How does it end? What goes on?
That's all I remember.
What?
It was like 7 years ago, dude.
There was an assembly?
Yeah,
December-
Do you remember at the end of the December, like before we went winter break, there'd be an assembly with like the jazz band and stuff.
Yes.
And there was an ugly sweater contest.
I remember that, yeah.
Mr. Roberts came out at one point, and some guy came out in a hard hat, and he was like, "I'm here to protect him because the world's gonna end." It didn't.
What was it? Was that freshman year?
That was freshman year.
I was a mess.
Maybe it should have ended.
You can't believe anything. I don't know anything that happened freshman year. It was a mess.
Yeah. Speaking of 21, going back to that,
Yes.
you mentioned in a text message that I never responded to because I'm a shit friend.
It's okay.
You had like a cake on your birthday?
Yeah,
Because
so
you were in the backcountry.
I was in the backcountry, which I think is the best place to celebrate my birthday.
Yeah, I'll be
it
in
was in-
Ohio, which is tragic.
I was in the
Which just got fucked up last night. But
Ohio got messed up.
yeah,
Some
two
tornadoes.
big tornadoes hit Dayton. Anyway,
Bummer.
yeah, this damage isn't great. But I want to hear about your birthday.
Now let's celebrate your 21st birthday.
Let's do the twist.
It was like
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we're in the I think it's the eastern portion of Saguaro National Park outside of Tucson, Arizona, in the Rincon Mountain Range. And we're like in the middle of a backpack. We're like in the middle of like a 12-day backpacking trip, which is pretty sweet. And where were we staying? We were staying like, I think it was like at 6,000 or 7,000 feet. No, around 6,000 feet from what I remember. So we're up above the saguaro trees. We're like above where all the
That must have looked so cool.
yeah, it was it was really cool to look down, into that. But we're into like some pines, not quite into the pines, but like close to the pines, into some pinyon pines, some junipers, the pinyon juniper belt, as it's called. That's like the stage of like we sort of think about. We have like different life zones here in the east, but there's similar life zones in the west.
Gotcha.
But you would think like, as we go up in life zones, we get smaller and smaller vegetation.
Right. I mean, but you look at something about Washington. There's no trees on top, and you can see
Right.
them shrink.
Now, in this part of Arizona, you start out in the desert basin
Where there's
where there's very little
Yeah.
vegetation. And as you go up,
That's really cool.
precipitation and temperature drops, so you get bigger and bigger vegetation. It's really
so you
like
get these big old
the complete
saguaro trees.
opposite. It was
Yeah.
kind of weird.
That's cool though.
It was really great. And so for that day, we had a day hike up to, it was like 8,000 feet. So we went up 2,000 more feet and got to experience that more and more. Up into the Ponderosa belt and some firs. And there was snow on the ground. And it was like, when was that? It was March. It was my birthday. I just forgot when my birthday was.
It's okay. It happens to the best of us.
When it like the valley floor in like Tucson may have been like 80 degrees.
So much cooler up where you
It's
were.
like 40 degrees up at the top.
Oh, much
It was,
cooler.
it was really cool. There's like 6 inches of snow on the ground, and there's like little mammillaria cactus that are like covered in snow. And
That's
it's,
the
like,
cutest thing I've ever
what?
pictured.
Yeah, mammillaria cactus are like so covered in spines that it looks like fur. That's why they're called mammillaria,
Makes
like
sense.
mammals.
Don't pet them though.
They're really cute. Yeah, so we did that, and it was great, and it was like a really fun time. I got to kind of, it wasn't running it, but I was like moving really fast because I was with my one friend, Joe, and we were just like, we kind of got permission to like, just go, just do it. We'll meet you up at the top, and it was great. It was fun. And when we came back down, I was like kind of taking my space, being reflective, 'cause it's my birthday, and just thinking and walked away from camp for a little bit. And then, so I was a TA on the trip for expedition skills. And so one of my jobs was like stove repair, teaching people how to repair stoves, how to use stoves,
Important stuff.
troubleshoot them.
Food is good.
And my one friend, Copper, was like, hey, I think there's something wrong with this stove. Can you like come on over and like fix it? Like we've done a whole bunch with it. Like we can't figure it out. We need your help. Like, okay, like fine. So I like walk over there, and then they surprised me with a cake that they made.
That's so
Which
cute.
was so sweet. They carried in like 2 cans of frosting.
Oh my god.
They're like a pound each.
Yeah, that's
Up like 4,000 feet. Like this is really
Hey, it's your
heavy
birthday,
stuff.
though. That's
And they got like cake mix, and it was really interesting the way they did it because we don't really have an oven. Like we
Right.
can't bake a big cake. But so they made like
I was about to say
Can-
Dutch oven, but it occurred to me that would be even worse
yeah.
to carry up.
But we had like little anodized aluminum. They're called fry bakes. They're like
I can picture, yeah.
yeah, pretty ubiquitous in institutional programs like this. And you can essentially make a small cake, a pancake. with
Literally.
them. So they made like layers of like
Of pancakes?
cake mix of pancakes.
Of pancakes.
But not like pancake.
Right, they're cakes
But
in
they're
a pan,
cake
but not a
batter.
pancake.
And
Even though pancakes are usually made on a grill, not a pan, but anyway.
and made a whole bunch of them and stacked them with like frosting between. And my one friend packed in a whole can of like, I think it was like strawberry fruit,
Fruit spread.
fruit spread.
Jam or probably jelly.
No, it was like parfait. Or
Oh,
it was like
okay.
it was like one of those, like a cake
Yes.
filling thing. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe, like, it was just incredible. And it was awesome, and like, they also got little 21 wax candle, like a 2 and a 1.
Not
wax,
21
No,
candles
not 21
to fit
candles,
on
but
tiny
2
little-
candles. 1 was a 2, 1 was a 1. Put them on the cake, and they went around and said things that they appreciated about me. It was just
so
like
sweet.
so sweet. It was great. They wrote me a little card. It was the best birthday ever. It was amazing.
So I turned 20 in September, last September. So I'll be 21 in a couple months. But I had a rehearsal the day of my birthday, which was kind of gross. I really didn't want to go and like do work on my birthday. But I went and I walked in and it was really quiet. And I was like, where's everyone? And then everyone sort of popped up from the seats
Aw.
and sang to me, the director and like the cast and crew and stuff. And then one of my friends, she lives with a person I do film with, and this person, I'd mentioned them, like, I would love to have a surprise party sometime. So she said, this isn't a surprise party, but my friend made you a surprise cake, and it was a little mug, like a mug cake.
Aw.
It was just, like, really, really nice to have that.
Yeah. Sometimes the best birthday is just like a simple birthday that you get to like be on your own, like calm and like,
I like chill birthdays.
you know, chill.
Yeah, it's fun to party.
It's great.
But, you know, there's something really nice. That morning, I was having breakfast with one of my best friends, and we're just chatting, like having a nice breakfast. And 4 of my friends saw me. They'd come into the dining hall, and they came over and like started saying happy birthday and just like piled on a big hug. And
Yeah.
it was like a really nice way to start the day, and the rest of the day just sort of continued that
Yeah.
momentum. So I'm hoping 21 is like
Big.
but also like chill, like a big chill.
But it was good. So I had that was a chill day. Like it was exactly what
Because
I
it
wanted
was 40
to do.
degrees out.
Well, yeah, we got to go for a hike, which is what I would have done anyways on my birthday, and
Of course.
with just some good friends, and it was chill, and like that. The day of my birthday was great, but then when we went back into town, we had a fun time, party time. So I had like the best of both
Right.
worlds.
And I feel like that's sort of the ideal.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what'll happen. What day is September 8th this year? That's my birthday, by the way, listeners. If you want to send me something. Oh, it's a Sunday.
It's God's day.
Maybe I'm not going to be partying too hard. Got class at
You can
10:30 the
you
next
can do it
morning.
the night before.
I can do it the night before.
Yeah.
September 7th.
Party into your birthday.
Oh, shit. Well, because isn't that it's like some people go to bars and, like, as soon as it's midnight, they'll start drinking? My cousin did that when he turned 21.
I don't know. Well, so
I'm excited to have my first alcoholic beverage. I really am.
The other problem is that your license is vertical when you're. I mean, you can like.
Well, one of the problems is my license. I've got a permit. It's going to expire when I turn 21.
Exactly.
So I have to get like a government, just like a New York State ID, basically.
You get your. Yeah, you could get that.
Because I don't have time to go take my driver's test before my license expires.
Fair enough.
Because I haven't driven in quite a while. But
Do you
anyway,
ever want to get your driver's license?
I do. I think I'm going to wait till after college just because I can walk most places. I need to get, like, Dennison's a walking campus. Granville's a walking town.
Yeah.
I have friends who have cars who enjoy doing the same things I do.
All right.
So once I have a job and, like, a life, I'll...
No life.
Yeah, because, I mean, this is getting into, like, post-grad stuff. But,
Yeah.
like, the plan is sort of to move to Ohio for a while.
Okay.
Get a job in Columbus, ideally.
All right.
Even though I really don't like Ohio at all. But there's stuff happening there.
Stuff happening.
So I'll just like get an Ohio permit and an Ohio license.
I feel like there's stuff happening everywhere though.
Yeah, but Columbus has like a really big growing sort of it's just growing in general. Like there's a lot of opportunities there that are new and exciting. And
All right.
I'd rather live in a smaller city like that than in some place like LA or New York.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
That'd be too much.
I mean, I think I talked about this on the last episode. New York's insane. New York is the craziest place I've ever been, and I cannot do that.
I want to go there for perspective. I don't want to go there for like. I mean, there's
take a weekend sometime and go. That's my
many
advice.
beautiful things to appreciate in New York City, but I I want to do that to make me realize how much I appreciate other things.
That's
And maybe my
what it
mind
did
will
for
be
me.
completely changed, but
Maybe,
not.
but probably not.
probably not.
You know, you never know.
Yeah.
We could go into. I've got a sort of college post-grad section on my list.
So you got a list here.
I do have a list. It's
What's about this list? What's going on?
So the story behind the list, I told you, but it's kind of a. I have not. I've been staying up really late lately, watching Star Trek for the most part. Not sponsored, but God, I wish we were. By Star Trek itself, the Enterprise is our sponsor, Starfleet. But I was just laying awake one night, probably because you stare at a screen before you go to bed. It's hard to.
Yeah.
Which I need to stop doing. I need to start reading before I go to bed. But I was like, I'm gonna make a list of stuff to talk about on the podcast because I have these ideas and I don't want to forget them. So I have this. It's a tiny bookmark, like a really skinny bookmark.
Yeah, I can't believe. Okay, never mind. Like this was the best piece of paper you could find to write on.
All my notebooks are still packed up.
Ah, fair enough.
So, and I had the only pen I could find was a Sharpie marker, like a thin fine tip. So, I was like a little high on fumes when I wrote this, but I've got a whole list.
I don't have a list at all.
We could go down. Do you want to talk about? I mean, we're just sort of on a post-grad.
I feel like you just made a segue to ruin a segue.
I didn't make. I guess I did. Didn't
Like
I?
we're already on the topic. You could just yes-anded right into it. Instead, you're like, look at this cool bookmark.
Maybe I shouldn't be the one teaching drama at camp and improv.
No, that's all good.
So that's my post-grad plan. I guess is to move to Columbus and figure it out. Do you have a plan? Because we're gonna be seniors. I mean, do you have any idea? Do you want to go to like a grad school?
That's more than a year away.
That's true.
I did this. I planned like 6 months out.
Then that's, I always, like I always sort of, I wanted to go into senior year having like a plan. Like this is exactly what I'm gonna do. I have everything. Like I have an apartment figured out. I know a job that I might want. I don't.
Yeah.
But that was sort of always the plan.
I mean, it's good to plan ahead and like figure out like, yeah, you should try to start looking for an apartment in the city you want to move to before you like actually start driving there.
That's a year away.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I got a couple places I want to apply to. There's a.
So like this is grad school, sort of.
No, not grad school. Jobs.
Oh, jobs.
Because we graduate. Jobs. Yeah, because we graduate in the fall, right? Or no, in the spring. Sorry, which means we have, the summer, which at least for me is like fairly easy time to find employment. That's like my peak.
You think you'll be at camp next summer?
No, I don't think so. I think I'll I'll apply for to work for a company called Outward Bound, and they do canoeing trips in a few locations around the country. But
do you want more coffee here?
Sure. Yeah, there's one in Minnesota that'd be really cool. There's one in Philadelphia. So, yeah, they do canoeing trips similar to what I do now, but longer and better and
with
just like
better money, I guess.
Yeah.
We all know camp is not the money bag job.
I mean, they're a very well-known company in the industry, and I've been wanting to apply and look into them for a while, but it just hasn't quite worked out with timing and stuff. So
yeah. Well, I mean, summer's a good time to do it.
Yeah. So and that's when they're hiring the most. So that would be the plan for that.
So I just gave you what was left. It's okay.
So yeah, and then I'll figure out my summer, and then from there, I don't know. We'll figure out the fall later.
And that's a good plan. It's just weird to think about. I feel like I just got to college, in a way. Like it's still fresh, but it also feels like I've been here 20 years.
I feel like I'm pretty ready to go.
I'm definitely ready to go.
I mean,
but it's just weird.
I'm ready for my last year and like to do good and I'm excited and all that. But
you're ready to take off and spread your wings and fly, as they say.
Just the novelty and the. It's like when you realize what's wrong with your hometown or your like parents or like whatever.
Can't imagine what you mean.
What?
Just no, I hometown,
Well, but
no, I know exactly what
your
you mean.
idealism is worn off about
Right.
it, and you're like, I see all the flaws with this place now, but you still love it, and you still really like to be there, and it's awesome and it's great, but you're like, oh, I'm not as like bright-eyed and naive about the problems with this community anymore.
You're woke.
I don't really like that word, but yeah.
I think I feel the same way about Denison.
Yeah.
And about hometown. I was talking to my mom. She came up to visit a couple weeks ago, and we were just talking about senior year and graduation and stuff. And I was talking about different options because one worst case scenario plan was to move back here, get a job for a year, and then with that money, figure it out.
Yeah, for sure.
My mom basically said, "I don't want you to move back."
Well, fair enough.
Thanks, Mom.
No,
but she's right. I mean, I
wouldn't want to do that either.
I think if I had to live here full time, I'd lose my mind.
Yeah, definitely.
Because this town is stuck in high school mindset, I think.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Like everyone here, like adults too. It's sort of the same.
No, maybe I think that's just you thinking that.
It could be
because like that's when you
I'm an edgy
were here,
edgy man.
Well, I think about that too. Like I get stuck in that sometimes when I like am at home for too long, and I'm like, I feel like I'm reverting back to my high school self.
That's exactly it.
And I don't really like that, so I'm like, okay, I gotta leave now, and that's good and that's great. And don't get me wrong, I love being home and it's great and it's all
but it's not. It's stagnant. Like that's.
Yeah, I feel like if I was here long enough, it would become not so stagnant. But
I don't want to be here long enough. Because that's the thing is I feel like my life is out in Ohio of all places, and the Adirondacks, and that's where things are sort of moving forward and are interesting and meaningful is the wrong word, but like they are not stagnant.
Well, just as much as you're a different person at camp, you're also a different person at school, and you're a different person at home, and it's like.
But the one at home feels like the least true self. Like right now, I feel like
odd.
me. But because this isn't, like I said, I left this town 3 years ago to go to college as a different person than who I am now. But there's people who know me and haven't known college me and haven't known Camp me. They still see the person I was 3 years ago.
And then I feel like I have this whole nother split where it's like field semester me,
right,
and like on campus me, and then summer me, and then home me, and it's like I have so many different personalities.
But there's got to be a kernel of truth in each of those.
Oh, for sure.
That is the fundamental.
It's not that you're disingenuine with any of them.
But it's different.
Yeah. What's the saying for those that know there was no explanation necessary, and for those that don't, there was no explanation possible?
I like that a lot. Do you know who said that?
No. I mean, my professor said that to me, but I don't know who said it before him.
We could just attribute it to your professor. Very wise knowledge from
I'm sure he would.
From collegiate folks.
Yeah. It's kind of like how that is, but.
You've taken my list.
Here, take your list back.
No. What looks good to it?
Enjoy your list.
I'll let you pick something. Not everything's a topic to talk about. Some of it's just podcast ideas.
What's this one? What's this one here about?
Off the cuff is fun too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we just do episodes off the cuff.
Right.
And I feel like they turn into off the cuff. Like we'll start on a tangent and then I'll just.
Well, it's kind of the point, isn't it?
Right.
It'd be too bureaucratic
if we
just like
one thing
talk
and
about
then move
lists.
on.
Yeah.
There's I've talked about this podcast before. My brother, and me. They basically take questions from their listeners and they'll answer them with like jokes and goofs. And sometimes like I don't know. I feel like they don't wrap stuff up enough. Sometimes they'll just sort of riff and then they'll just go to the next question. And that bugs me a little bit.
Is it the podcast? Is that one based off the Odyssey?
No, it's not. Unfortunately.
No.
You're thinking of my brother, my mother, and Poseidon are all the same person. What? That's not the plot of the Odyssey, but it could be. And it sounds like a Greek myth.
No. Or is it the Iliad?
I haven't read the Iliad.
It's one based. They go on a journey and they get tempted by different things.
That is the Odyssey.
But then they become successful in the end. But then there's this devil character who is like tracking them because they're fugitives from a place because they broke out of prison.
That's not the Odyssey at all.
And they become like country music singers and
the Country Bears. You think of the country?
And in like the 1930s during the Depression, I think their band's name is called the Soggy Bottom Boys or something like that. The soundtrack is really.
Is this
really
a tangent you're trying to shoehorn in?
And what else? It's by that one. There's one actor in it who is was it Dapper Dan Man. And,
I'm just gonna let you do
and
this. And
the other actor is where is he from? Well, he just came out with a new movie called The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. It was great. I haven't
seen that, but I know it's really good. That's the Coen Brothers.
You would really like it. Yeah. He's also in an Ockerville River music video, which is I just think is amazing. No, it's not that podcast. It's not the one you're talking about.
No, it's not that podcast.
No.
Weird.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
No,
I'm really confused.
Let's see if I can give you more clues. This is now turning into a guessing game.
This is a fun new segment. Is
the soundtrack is great. Like you definitely love the soundtrack already, and it's probably won some awards, but I don't remember.
You're assuming I've seen this film.
Yes.
I haven't seen every movie.
You definitely have seen this movie, and at one point, a guy gets turned into a frog.
What?
By these ladies in a lake that are singing, "Go to sleep, you little baby. Go to sleep, you little baby," or something like that. The guy's trying to win back his wife. I know that's a subplot to it.
This isn't Blues Brothers, is it?
They sell their soul to the devil to become singers or something at the crossroads. Maybe that's not part of it. Maybe I'm just thinking it is.
I have not seen this movie.
It takes place during the Depression, though.
When was it made?
Not that long ago. What's another one? What's another part of this movie?
I haven't seen it, so you
have for sure seen it.
This is not something that's ringing the bell.
It's about these three dudes and they're convicts and they break out of prison. And if you can imagine like the cover art for the movie is these three dudes running through a field in striped like prisoner uniforms, and they're connected by the leg by
I can picture it. I just don't know the film.
Oh god.
I haven't seen it.
I made a joke about this film like last episode when you were talking about this this podcast also.
Oh, brother, where art thou?
Yes. Whew.
So that was
People were furiously typing
literally
away the
5
keys.
minutes of podcast.
People were furiously typing away this. Why don't you get that? Oh my god.
Yeah, I have seen it. I just hadn't. It's been probably high school was the last time I watched it.
It's a great movie,
It's
though.
a great film. I just
Love it.
It's been a long time.
There you go.
Cool.
All that to say,
Good goof.
that's not the podcast.
That's not the
We're talking-
podcast.
That bit went on. That bit went on.
That bit went on way too long.
I thought you were gonna get it right away.
No,
or
but
you were just playing along because you're
feel-
disappointed in me for.
I feel like
making
this
it
is
easier.
sort of the. I don't know why I'm gesturing to the microphone as if this is. That's sort of Catchupcast in a nutshell, though, isn't it? We just go on these tangents. You're obscuring my list.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here you go.
So I wanted to talk about. I've seen some articles about this. Have you been reading about the Mount Everest like traffic jams?
Yeah, I haven't been reading about it. I've just been kind of ignoring them. But yeah, I know about them.
Isn't that nuts? Because I sort
not
of get
really.
the idea Mount Everest is like not something people climb that often. Because
No,
it's
people
so
climb it
dangerous.
all the time.
But it's the most dangerous place.
Like during the weather window that like you get peak weather in a good season, like over 300 people a day will summit Mount Everest.
Seriously,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well, close to 400 people summited Mount Everest like one day last week. Which is insane. It's like,
Well, because it's not an easy climb.
well, no, it's not, but it's also commercialized. It's like the I'm trying to think of an analogy, but like there really isn't a good analogy for it. I'm trying to think of just like high powered wealthy people that are like immediately fit, like I want to do this and like
I guess that, yeah.
pay a company to carry all my stuff and set up my tents for me, and I'll just like hike it. And some people do it for genuine reasons that are like really cool and awesome, but a lot of people are just like in it to summit and have this cool experience and like, you know, pay a whole lot of money to do it. And it's kind of unfortunate because it's like destroying the place and becoming really commercialized.
Well, the
and-
summit's apparently just covered in like trash, right?
Yeah, I mean the whole mountain's covered in trash and like, you know, people, and it's it's not great.
Not great.
Yvon Chouinard has a really good saying about it, where it's like if you go into a mountain climb like that, where it's like you're paying everybody to set up your stuff, to take away some of these difficulties for you, to like, and I'm not saying it's not difficult, like I'm sure it's still very
Well,
hard.
I mean, you're climbing Everest.
But you're sort of like you're setting everything up in a way that it's just a walk. It's just like a hike for you, and you're going into it with the wrong reasons.
Right. Well, the reason is it's this challenge, right? And that's sort of what I view Everest as. Is it's the ultimate challenge.
But it's really not anymore.
Which is that's just crazy.
It's not. It's commercialized.
Which I don't know. I guess I have an issue
The
with
ultimate
that.
challenge is like K2 or like Annapurna or like mountains that people haven't even heard of, but are like so much harder and so much insanely more remote, and like,
Everest is so tall.
yeah, but you know, you have a fixed line rope from the start to the bottom, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like all the way to the top, and
But like 7
You
people,
know-
as of the last article I saw, 7 people died because of this traffic jam.
well, because of the traffic
is
jam,
crazy.
not because it's
No, not
it's
because
insane
it's-
hard.
It's because they're.
I mean,
out
it's
in
hard because, you know, there's altitude and all this, but it's yeah. So he's like, if you go into it like that, you know, you go into it. This is Yvon Chouinard's words. You go into it an asshole, and you come out of it an asshole, and you don't really change. You know, it's like, well, why'd you spend a whole lot of money just to
Right.
like get to the top? I don't know. It's pretty.
Well, that's what space is going to be, right? It's like the moon is
Yeah.
going to be, you know, rich folks going to be like, oh, I'm going to go to the moon for the afternoon.
Just because I can, and I
Right.
can like not put it on my resume, but like, you know,
I
talk
saw,
about it at a cocktail party.
which is, I think, the wrong reason. You
Yeah,
go to the
for
moon
sure.
because like it's the moon. What a cool achievement.
Right, and Everest is kind of that way, but it's just turning into a corporate thing.
Mount Everest sponsored by McDonald's.
Kinda, yeah,
I don't know. I guess
it is.
you know the way movies and the stories And
Well, back in the day, it wasn't like that.
Right, and those are the stories, like the accounts I've read of Henry Mallory, I think, was the first guy to summit it.
It's completely different.
It's completely different. It's this. It's
that's walking
this,
into the
this
unknown.
beast.
For sure.
It's this sort of monstrous death trap.
Have you seen the movie Meru? Did I tell you about that?
No, but it's on Canopy.
What's Canopy?
It's a free streaming service you get with a library card. Basically.
Oh, cool. It's also on Netflix, probably.
It's on Netflix anymore because I was going to watch it over this past semester and then they took it down.
Bummer.
Free Solo's on Hulu.
Oh.
Did you see Free Solo?
I have not yet.
So it won Best Documentary at the Oscars, but the Oscars are in fact bullshit. So
the Oscars. When are the Oscars?
They were in February.
They're in February. All right, I'll put away my tuxedo and hat.
Did you like the segment in the one last episode where I put the Oscars theme underneath?
I did. I just listened to that the other day.
It really kind of amps it up. It
was great. I mean, it was only like a 5-minute segment.
But it's goofy without the music. But you put the music under it, and suddenly it's this like over the top, wonderful.
It's so fun.
I've had a lot of fun, like just with like adding the music and stuff. It's putting the contra dance music under your description of contra dancing.
You're doing a great job, even though my description was awful.
I didn't want to write one, it was there.
It's all good. Speaking of which, do you want to look at the numbers?
They weren't any different yesterday.
They weren't any different yesterday?
Welcome to our new segment, Look at the Numbers. Yeah, I'll see if they're any different.
Mason, what are the numbers?
We still have 2 solid listeners, I think.
Solid.
I'll turn the screen so you can see.
That's great. Oh, nice. Numbers have stayed the same. Oh, they're updating. They
stayed the same. But we have at least 1 view almost every day.
That's interesting. They've kind of leveled up. Oh, that's cool.
So what was interesting is if we go, we had Buffalo last time,
right?
But now we have the town we live in. Which
so there's somebody's
listening in Buffalo.
Interesting.
Because I thought that was us. I thought it was just sort of
right generalizing.
But it's not.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
But it looks like most of our episodes are getting listens.
That's cool. And the latest ones are getting more so than less. No.
Yeah, I haven't put up the episode we recorded last time just because I'm sort of in the midst of editing it.
Right.
But that'll probably go up. I'll try to get both these up before you leave so you can listen to them.
Cool. Wow.
So those are the numbers.
Nice. Those are numbers.
No one listened to episode 6 or episode 4, which is kind of a bummer.
I feel like episode 4 is a good one.
Episode 4 is a fun. We talk about horse football, where like they're covered in spikes. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we're talking about the murderous game of football. Cool.
2 listens to episode 3, which is crazy because episode 3 is painful to listen to.
Yeah, come on, folks.
I found there's like if you listen to it for like 5 minutes, you sort of get acclimated to it. It's like Shakespeare; it just takes a second. But it's not great. But we figured it out.
Anyways,
we got 21 episodes now.
It's good to see the numbers. What were we talking about? Everest?
Yeah, we're talking about Everest and the moon and.
Yeah.
So I guess I just didn't realize that it had become this commercial.
Oh yeah,
thing, because I still sort of imagine it in the olden days where it was this gargantuan behemoth.
But the reason I bring up
mean the same thing.
The reason I bring up Meru and Free Solo and what's the movie I just watched?
Mountain?
No.
I do need to
The
watch
Dawn Wall, which is now on Netflix with Tommy Caldwell and I forget the other guy's name, and I'm really sorry. Those are all like independent people. Like, I mean, they have sponsorships and you know,
they're climbing.
But they're just doing it themselves, and it's totally kind of the opposite, right? Like, they're carrying all their own stuff, they're figuring out all the problems. Like, it's climbing pioneering. It's like you're out there pushing the limit of what can be done, and nobody else has done that before. Unlike Everest, it's like, yeah, we know how to do it. It's like you hike to here, you camp here, you move to here, do this, move on to this rope, and like, you know, it's all the problems with it have been figured out until they start to change, and climate change is going to, you know, screw with everybody's plan and weather systems and all this. But like, they have it down pat, you know? Unlike being the first people to free climb El Cap was like, you got to spend 3 years figuring out how to fix this like 12-meter section on the wall where it's like, yeah, nobody's ever climbed this
genuine
feat,
whereas Everest isn't as much anymore.
Well, it's still a hard thing to do.
Well, yeah, because I mean the mountain is the mountain, the altitude and the weather and everything.
But there's no figuring it out anymore. It's like, we know how to do it, so just do it if you can do it. Where watching Tommy Caldwell get obsessed with the Dawn Wall and figure out like, for so long just focusing on this like blank stretch of wall that's like, okay, I got to figure out a way around this. I have to like. Nobody else has climbed this ever before, or if they have, they've done it with equipment.
Right, they've never.
They've never done
I
it
just
with
made
their
a
hands
climbing motion.
never done it with their hands
yeah.
and feet. Is really, really so much more like pioneering. So that's pretty cool.
Do you think you'd ever summit Everest? Is that something on your bucket list?
Well, got to get like $40,000 first, but
Wow.
yeah. So
Someday.
maybe not.
Someday.
It's not really my aspiration. Like, it sounds really cool, but it's also I don't really want to feed into that whole corporate like commercialized thing.
Yeah. No, I completely get that.
It's not really my, I don't know.
Not your bread and butter.
Yeah.
Not your cup of tea. Not your
I'd rather do something like
father's root beer.
like pioneer something and like be the first person to like do something crazy.
Do you plan? Do you have like a mountain? You're like, I'm gonna go and just.
No, because I can't
I'm
really
gonna be
climb
the
at
first
that.
person to jump over that mountain.
I can't really climb at that level yet. I gotta like get there first and then do it.
But you got time. I mean, how old are the guys doing Mayru doing free
Oh.
solo?
They're like 25.
Oh, never mind. You're a failure.
Yeah. No. Well. What was I gonna say? The one guy, he's older. He's like in his 50s. But he's like an old mountaineer. He's been doing it forever.
He's the guy in the heist movie who like this is one last job, right?
Yes, exactly.
Come out of retirement for one last job.
And his wife's like, you gotta stop going to the big mountains. Like he's like, just this last one, I promise. And then it takes him.
And then they make 3 sequels.
Right, and then it takes him like 3 times
Yeah.
to do it. It's like, dude. His name's Conrad Anker. Anyways,
That's a cool name.
I know, right? Such a badass name.
What?
What was I gonna say? Something about there's a new climbing gym in Buffalo.
You mentioned this off air, but
It's so great. We should go there sometime.
I would love to. I like climbing. It's been years and years and years, but I liked doing it when I was younger.
It's awesome.
I'm an adult man now.
It's a new big gym. It's like totally modern. It's great. They got tons of routes. Like they got a bouldering section. They got a moon board. It's like it's so awesome. It's great, and it's like easy to get to in downtown Buffalo. Like just hop on the
Buffalo's a
90.
hopping city.
It's
There's
growing,
a
man.
lot that
It's getting there.
people. I mean, there's certain parts of Buffalo, like Elmwood Village, for example.
Yeah.
There's so much happening in Elmwood Village.
But I
And
went
then-
there once a couple weeks ago, and then I went there once last week with my dad. And it was awesome. It was sweet. It was so much fun. So we got to go there sometime.
Absolutely.
I'm heading out pretty soon here, but when we're back in town together,
Assuming that ever happens.
you know,
I don't know. When do you get back from camp at the end of the summer?
I don't know.
Because I come home pretty late.
Yeah, I come home pretty late too, and depending on what job I get on campus, I have to get up there sooner than normal, and then who knows? Maybe January we'll go.
Hey, maybe.
That'd be a good time.
January 2020.
Ugh.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I don't like it.
I remember growing up 2016 when we graduated high school, always seemed like this far away year, and then it just kind of happened. And now it's been almost 4 years since 2016.
Yeah.
I guess it's been 3.5. It's only June. Or May. It's still May.
Time doesn't really...
Exist?
Yeah. I don't know. It's not something I think about often.
I do only when I'm, like, thinking too much. Like, last night I sat out on the porch with a cup of coffee and just, like, thought these existential thoughts. And it was kind of the time for it. I feel like I sort of have to make allowances for when I do deep thinking. My meme chat is blowing up.
Your phone
Sorry.
is blowing up here.
I'm in a meme group chat, and last night there were like 50 memes sent to this group chat, and I was just trying to watch Star Trek in peace, but my phone kept lighting up.
See any good memes recently?
Not really.
No?
There's some good like Avengers memes that I've seen. People are like, but
I don't get them.
well, see, that's the problem. Can I spoil Avengers
Sure,
Endgame?
I'm not going to watch it.
So there's this. Well, I'm just thinking for the listeners.
Nah, I don't care.
A spoiler warning. Skip ahead 2 minutes if you're afraid of that. I'm just gonna show you the picture.
Are we doing meme review again?
We can.
Is this how this goes?
Um,
We show each other visual formats on the audio format.
Tony
and then talk
Stark,
about them.
played by the Robert Downey Jr., of course. At one point at the end of the film, he gets all the Infinity Stones and snaps.
Whoa.
But if you
He snaps?
he snaps.
His fingers.
Yeah.
And makes...
Well, he kills Thanos and Thanos' army.
Oh, okay, cool.
But dies in the process.
Gotcha.
But there's a still frame.
Because nobody can hold
Well,
that
he
much power.
snaps. And that's the still frame.
With his middle finger.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you go frame by frame, you can get that.
That's funny.
There's also... This one's sad and kind of funny.
When no monsters are ready, it's okay, you can rest now.
Because he's dying in the bottom photo, but that's a Minecraft. I have a friend who just sends me these Avengers
Oh, when no
memes.
monsters are nearby. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yep. I don't really get it, but okay.
I could show you. We've got new memes in the meme group chat. I could just give you those.
Let's do it. Let's do the rundown.
Welcome to Meme Review.
Meme
I haven't looked at these memes.
review. You haven't seen these?
No, these are the brand new ones. If you scroll down, there's ones I haven't
Here we
seen.
go.
So you'll have to surprise me.
I'm gonna find one that I think you're gonna like.
I probably enjoy a lot of these. You know, I don't laugh, but I probably exhale through my nose really loudly. Hey, listeners. Hope you're having a good day. We've got about 5 minutes till 15 minutes, so find a good meme quickly. I'm really intrigued. Yesterday was Memorial Day, right?
Yeah, it was
And I woke up and the first thought that came to my mind, was meme Oriole Day. I woke up with that thought.
That is not
just sort of
good,
set the tone
dude.
for the day.
No, don't like it.
Thank you for your service, said troll face.
I like this one.
So we're looking at a meme. It's from the hit TV show Arthur, which just featured a gay rat wedding.
Yeah, isn't that this is pretty controversial though?
A town in Alabama refuses to air it.
Nice.
There's a joke that someone said they should do like a local translation where they're not gay but what they're related instead.
Or where they get an abortion or something.
Not in Alabama.
I know, right? Even more controversial.
So it's DW, Arthur's sister, looking at a door, and the door says Treaty of Versailles, and DW is labeled Hitler. DW Hitler, upon seeing this Treaty of Versailles, says, "That sign won't stop me because I can't read," which of course is funny because Hitler violated Treaty of Versailles and invaded Poland and also was a bad person.
I love the history memes.
There's a lot of good history ones from last night.
Like this one?
So it's a house, and the house is France, and it's just a single gate. Like, you could step over but it says the Maginot Line.
The Maginot Line. You know what that is?
No.
It's a big defensive, like, bunker, fortress line.
Maginot, you know.
All across France, and then the Nazis were like, "Oh, I like that big fortress line you have there to stop us. We're just gonna, step around it."
Damn those Nazis. Sure glad we defeated them. Oh wait, they're still around.
Ouch.
So it says Earth. This is one of those exists memes. So it says Earth exists, and then Genghis Khan. It's the man from the free real estate video. And he's got a little mustache and a big puffy hat, and he goes, "It's free real estate," because of course Genghis Khan conquered more land than anyone else in history, besides the British Empire. But when Genghis Khan was the only one, he did it single-handedly. We talked a lot about history on this podcast, mostly the 20th century, but now we're in like some of those good. You know, so this is Hannibal. He's a car, and it's the meme where the car is like speeding onto the exit, and up ahead it says a reasonable path. But the exit he's speeding onto says in all caps with, I believe that's 4 exclamation marks. Hannibal is speeding on his exit. That is the fucking Alps with 4 exclamation marks.
There's a funny version of this meme for my school where
Probably hard to speed when you're on an elephant. But
where so if you can imagine, we got a group of buildings, a group of dorms. That's what they're called. Gosh, dorms. And
buildings, yeah.
Buildings that you sleep in. Residences, domiciles. And you, did you just like that?
No, I just, because it was about to close.
Oh, okay. Okay, I gotta stop looking at these memes now. And you have to drive around the block to get to it. Or you can take a path, like a little path through the cedar swamp to get to it. And, but it's only a footpath. But it's like just barely wide enough to fit a car. And,
oh no.
And but you have to you wouldn't want to drive it. It's like really bumpy and like not great.
Right.
And it goes through the woods and like it's not great. But it's that same meme of the car speeding onto the exit where it's like, to the dorms, and then one says like the road you're supposed to drive on, and the other one is like the pedestrian walkway, and the car's like swerving onto it because somebody did that once because they're a jackass.
It's not. My phone is now closed.
Okay.
But
I just wanted to show you that one more.
I've got a fun little fingerprint.
Because it's a cat.
Oh, okay. So we've got a cat It's being traced by a little girl named the Romans, and the cat. This is Romans, like the people, not the book in the Bible, I assume. It's being traced by this girl, and the cat is labeled Greek mythology, and we have a very bad drawing of a cat that is Roman mythology, which of course is a reference to the fact that the Romans just kind of took the Greek stuff and watered it down.
They just totally copied Greek mythology. It's great.
It's so funny. The Roman Empire was this great empire, but like they just stole everything from everyone else, and then also toppled themselves.
Yeah.
It wasn't built in a day, but it sure did fall pretty quick. All roads lead there, so people got out real good. Those are my Rome jokes.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at memes now.
Listeners, how are you doing? Tell us how you're doing by going to anchor.fm/Ethan-McAtee/message, I think. We said in the last episode, just look there. You can tell us how your day's going. You can leave us a little message. Tell us what's going on in your life, fun stuff like that. Isaac's just looking at memes, so I'm trying to fill the silence here.
Oh, no.
It sounds
I can't say that one out loud. That one's too...
yeah.
That one's too much. That one's straight up inappropriate. I don't know why. That's
Well, because we're edgy teens. We're adults, not teens, but you know what I mean. Hey, that rhymed. We're adults, not teens, but you know what I mean. These memes are edgy. They're not clean. It's my rap. It's the only rap I'm going to do on the show. You're welcome, listeners.
This is Curious George.
So Curious George. The caption is curious. Well, it says George is getting a little too curious, and he's using a Ouija board. And then in the next picture, he's got a pentagram with candles around it, likely summoning some sort of yellow-hatted demon. Good stuff.
Great. Okay, I'm sorry. We can put away the memes now. It's distracting. I don't get to see all these. I don't have the internet. I don't really get to see all these memes.
You were just talking about your college's memes.
We should. They made a good couple funny ones recently, but they're too specific to the college. I don't know if you.
We read one of them on the episode 19.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a lot of fun.
We did like a good meme sort of gauntlet that episode.
Meme review.
We're actually changing our podcast. We're no longer Catchupcast. We are the meme review, where we just look at memes for an hour. And
oh, this is a good meme. But
we're gonna put the memes away, he says.
All right. I'm sorry.
No, I get it. You gotta get your fix.
Yeah,
It's like you're shooting up, but instead of like drugs, it's just memes.
Hey, if that's what does it, you gotta.
Do you think that's like robot drugs? They're like, I will. Don't do it. I must.
What do you think?
Oh, that's the good stuff.
What do you think
Cheating
AI
girls.
is gonna get addicted to?
I mean, what's porn?
AI, like artificial intelligence. Like, what are they gonna like? What are they gonna want?
Our flesh, for their nefarious.
So if you were in a self-driving car,
which is coming,
would you want it to prioritize your life or a pedestrian's life in the case of an accident?
Have you heard about like they're like doing it by race and like gender, like if it's a woman or man, which like
it's not great.
It's not great.
It's not good either way.
My life probably.
Right, but like.
But it's the trolley problem, right? This is just a different iteration of the trolley problem.
Yeah.
But the Google trolley problem.
Yeah. Self-driving cars. They're gonna be great.
I don't love the thought of self-driving cars.
I mean, we'll always have people-driven cars, though. I don't think we can get away with that.
Can you imagine, like, you crash, like, you get in a car accident, you get out, it's like, I'm gonna give this driver a piece of my mind. You go over and it's just empty. There's just someone in the back seat.
Well, I think cars are gonna be empty way less because they're just gonna like. I don't think people are gonna own that many cars, but they're gonna be used in such an efficient way that like they're never gonna be driving without a person in them.
Well, no, what I'm saying is like you go and like there's no one in the driver's seat. There's just someone in the back seat. You've just gotten in a car accident. And the person in the back seat is just like. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's no driver.
And then the Seinfeld theme plays.
It's God himself. God just like sitting there. Time.
Jeff Bezos?
Yep. Daddy Bezos. Father Jeff.
Oh, I got something to talk about.
Okay. We're at 54 minutes.
It's fine. We did an hour and a half
That's
long
true.
episode. I don't really give a crap anymore. So there's this thing called the tech uniform. What's it called?
You just said it was called the tech uniform.
Silicon Valley uniform. Look it up. It's essentially all these dudes in like tech companies in like Silicon Valley and like Los Angeles and stuff. They wear like a puffy vest and a button-up shirt with like slacks and dress shoes. But they wear like a Patagonia vest or like a Columbia vest. I know I'm being very hypocritical because I'm wearing a vest and a button-up shirt right now, but you'll see what I mean.
Something like that?
Something exactly like that.
That's a hell of an outfit.
Every business bro wears that.
It just feels unprofessional.
But it's like kind of casual but kind of formal.
Is this what millennials are doing? Forget the tie. It's fleece vest time.
Absolutely. This is such a thing. It's like so much a thing.
He's got a smartwatch on too. This makes me really sad.
This is go into Silicon Valley.
Also, this guy's the most bland looking man I've ever seen
Exactly.
in my life.
He's so vanilla. But anyways, see, I actually like style it up.
No,
with,
you
woodsy
you
look
work it
and,
well.
like,
This man's just wearing a kind of unkempt button down. It looks like it's too big for him.
Okay, so you get the scene. That's everybody in Silicon Valley. Every business bro is like that. Now, where they get their vests, companies will like get their embroidered vest with like, I work for Amazon, or I work for Google, or like whatever their company that they work for. They get like a little insignia on it because they're cool and they want branded stuff. Now Patagonia makes a lot of fleece vests like that. Like
Patagonia makes
good stuff. But they're like, no, we don't want to support this anymore because all these people are like, they're not our clientele. They're not who we want.
Right, they're just douchey rich white guys.
Right, exactly. And they're just in the business company and they're not like, our mission is climate change, not business change. So we're going to stop making company branded vests. We're going to stop like embroidering all these like startups and all these companies for all these business bros out there. Because we want to focus on making vests for people that agree with our business.
Right, that's
mission.
a good investment.
Right. I hate you. And everybody in Silicon Valley is like freaking out. They're like posting that surprise Pikachu meme of like, oh no, what are we gonna do without our vests?
There's a really good version.
We can't do this.
Speaking of this, keep talking.
And there's such like a freak out of like, Patagonia, you can't do that. You can't take away our like freedom of speech or whatever. Like, you can't disagree with your client. Like that, the customer's always right. Why are you not doing this? And Patagonia's like, look it, man. Like, we've been doing this for centuries. We've been doing this not for centuries. We've been doing this for decades. And like,
here's the meme.
This is what we want to do. We don't want to. We want to focus on establishing our name and our brand with companies that agree with our business mission. So it was just like a big hubbub because all these business bros are like, oh no, Patagonia, you're not branding our vests anymore. We're going to have to go somewhere else. It's hilarious.
So this is the last meme of the podcast.
Okay, so
the episode.
It's one of those progressive memes where you go through like...
Right, it's like the Galaxy Brain meme. So the same idea. But this is Surprise Pikachu.
But it's Surprise Pikachu. Using the original Surprise Pikachu. Using the HD Surprise Pikachu.
So it's a sort of high res.
Using the 3D Surprise Pikachu.
I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory, actually.
Using the Surprised Detective Pikachu.
From the game.
Using the movie version of the Surprise Detective Pikachu.
Voiced by Ryan Reynolds.
Using the original Surprise Pikachu with a hat because everyone deserves to be a detective.
It's a good meme. It made me chuckle.
When you realize Surprised Pikachu was just marketing for Detective Pikachu. Whoa.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
I've heard
it's trash.
I've heard it was good.
You've heard it's good. Okay. Well.
Apparently it's... I read... there's so many bloopers from Ryan Reynolds that they could do an R-rated version, like a full-length R-rated version.
Nice.
I'm convinced...
They should sell that.
Well, I would pay so much money for that.
They should do that.
But, like, there's going to be jokes in Deadpool 3
about
this.
Yeah,
I mean, that's half the reason Ryan Reynolds did this.
They're
I'm
not
sure
going to
was
get away with it. Yeah.
Because that's why Ryan Reynolds does films now, right? It's just to make references to them in Deadpool.
Yeah.
I watched Deadpool 2 for the second time recently. It's a good film.
Is it?
Have you seen it?
I haven't watched a big blockbuster movie, like an A-list movie in a long time. Mostly just watched like independent films on Netflix.
Independent films are better.
Yeah.
But like I like going. There was one day this semester I went to see Shazam, the DC film.
Oh right.
Which was really good.
Huh.
It was like one of the best superhero movies I've seen.
Interesting.
But I was just really stressed out and like I texted my friend and said, "You want to go see a movie?"
Yeah.
And we just chose to go see Shazam because it's a sort of mindless blockbuster.
I just haven't.
So they're
been
good
to
for
the
that reason, but I would
theater in
rather
a
see
long
indie
time.
films.
Yeah.
Movie recommendation based on I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Booksmart.
Booksmart.
Apparently, really, really good.
Okay. Never heard of
It's
it.
an indie film about these two sort of awkward, nerdy girls who are going to college, but apparently it's just like really well done.
Interesting.
Directed by Olivia Wilde. The internet's been up, like film Twitter's been sort of praising it nonstop. I haven't seen it. I'd like to.
That was our Oscars review.
We're over an hour. We're the second episode to breach an hour. Good stuff. We probably should wrap up soon.
Wrap it up. Anything else on your list you want to talk about? This might be the last one.
That's true.
For the summer
maybe
hiatus.
Maybe we just keep going then.
Because I'm heading out at the end of this week.
That's true.
You're heading out in a couple weeks. I probably won't have time to get a video call in to do
That's so
some
sad.
stuff. So we'll come back in the fall. This is the end of season 2. Yes.
Well, I got 2 more things.
Season
on the
3?
list we could hit.
Okay.
I don't even know what the seasons are anymore.
We got seasons or no?
I haven't been officially doing seasons. We can
Okay.
call them seasons, but
All right.
so the 2 things I have left on my list are
Great.
listening to our own podcast
Yes.
and the kayak story.
The kayak story. What's the kayak story?
It's when you and I went kayaking and
I broke your iPhone 5.
well that's not like the important part of the story. You did, and I was stuck with iPhone 4 for a year.
Oh
But-
no, iPhone 4.
Oh no! I guess I'll just tell the story. Isaac and I went kayaking a couple years ago. And got out for a little bit, and then we were gonna get back in, and he pushed me. He pushed me back into the water backwards at a weird angle.
Yes.
I mean, whatever. But something about it made the kayak just flip over.
Yep.
So I was like underwater. It was really cold. I guess it's not that fun of a story to tell on the podcast.
No, it pretty much ends like that.
Yeah. It was cold. I couldn't talk. It was so cold. My glasses fell off and landed in my hand underwater, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. And your phone broke.
I had to use an iPhone 4 for a year. But I was just thinking about this the other night. Do you ever we've talked about listening because I send you the podcast and you listen to it. Is it weird to listen to?
A little bit. It's fun though. I smile.
I have a good time listening to it when
Maybe
I'm alone.
Maybe I'm narcissistic.
There's nothing wrong with that. But I went with my friend. We were in Columbus and we were driving back to campus, and I was like, "Hey, we should listen to my podcast."
Okay.
But it was so weird.
Why
Like
was
the
it weird?
second my voice came out, I just felt so uncomfortable.
Well, because it's you talking and you talking. There's 2 of you in the same room. It's a bit weird.
It's too much.
Yeah.
But I love listening to it when I'm alone. And I love telling my friends to listen to it, but I can't listen to it with other people, I think.
Interesting.
I don't know. Have you listened to it with anyone before?
No.
Okay.
I'll have to try that.
Because I was excited. I like plugged in my phone to his aux. I was like, we're going to listen to this. And, hey guys, and nope, we're not doing this anymore.
You didn't even get through it.
No, I just felt
What?
so weird. So we listened to... What did we listen to?
Wait, don't tell me.
No, I think we listened to Spider-Verse soundtrack.
Interesting.
Have you seen Spider-Verse?
No.
Best animated film I've ever seen. Or most
Okay.
innovative animated film I've ever seen. It won Best Animated Feature this year. Which is the first time in 6 or 7 years Disney hasn't won Best Animated Feature.
Wow.
So.
Cool.
But again, the Oscars are bullshit.
Right. As we discussed in our Oscar the Grouch themed episode.
Let's do that next year. Instead of the Oscars, we'll talk about Oscar the Grouch. Just like we'll find a bunch of Oscar the Grouch memes.
You know he was originally orange?
That's really... I'm picturing orange Oscar the Grouch, and it's horrifying.
Yeah.
Oh
Fun
god,
fact.
why was he originally orange?
I don't know. Think about that.
I don't want to. Do you have any last bits you want to...
I don't have any last bits for this season, you know? I think it's been a good season. We didn't get that many in, but
Well, it's... If we're counting this, when did this season start?
well, it was also kind of weird. I mean, next year we'll have I won't go on a field semester.
yeah.
So like I'll have all
We could probably do it weekly next year.
probably yeah. We'll see.
I have 1 class a day next semester.
One
so I'll
class
have-
a day.
Yeah, I'm only taking 3 classes.
Oh, I got.
They're sort of 400 level classes, so it's gonna be a lot
Oh,
of work.
right, yeah. My schedule is looking pretty packed for next year.
Oh,
Also, I might audit this class on top of
I
that.
think I'm gonna audit a class in the spring. I
Um,
want to take a philosophy class, but I don't want to do the work. I just want to read philosophy and discuss
right.
it.
Same with
So I
this
feel like
poetry class.
auditing's the right
But
option.
I'm also up to my credit limit. My
I have the number of credits I need to graduate. Like
Really?
I've had them since last semester.
So why don't you just graduate?
I don't have the GEs that I have 2 more GEs, and I'm not finishing them up until next semester,
Bummer.
like in the spring.
But So we'll see how much time I have. But yeah, I'll be on campus all year next year.
will
So
too, yeah.
I'll
I mean, I will. You know. Yeah.
I won't be leaving for the woods.
But I mean, let's think about the amount of episodes we put out.
Okay.
Between January and April-ish of
We'll put out like 3
2018.
in January.
We put out. I'm talking like just the whole podcast as a whole, all 21 episodes.
Yeah.
1 through 6. I mean, that was pretty consistent from January through whenever we stopped putting them out when episode 7 got cursed.
Right.
Then we had a month and a half and put out 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we put out 9 through. I mean, we got 9 to 19 from September to January.
Mm-hmm.
So we put out like double. In 3 months, we put out the same amount of episodes we put out in the whole first round of the podcast.
Haha, that's great.
So
We're doing good.
we're doing good. Next episode will be 22.
Taylor Swift will be our guest.
I'm gonna just tweet at her like, "Hey Taylor, you wanna come on?"
I've been listening to some OG Taylor Swift.
Oh, Taylor Swift is awesome.
From her like first
The
album.
good old days,
Like
where she was still country.
like Tim McGraw and like Teardrops on My Guitar and like they get me every time.
We listened to a lot of like OG Taylor at camp. So
Yeah.
I like have most of her songs memorized. I've got like, dance moves to a bunch of her songs.
It's so good. Such good stuff. I mean, her new stuff is like pretty good too.
It's
like,
fine,
I
but
like
it's not-
1989.
89.
1984.
The podcast where she just talks about government control the whole time. Podcast, Jesus. Album.
Yeah, but no, it's good. It's good stuff. Well, on that note, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Forever.
I had what? I had like this sort of to grow on topic I wanted to bring up real quick, but
Yes.
well, I was just thinking about like Catchupcast.
Yes. It's made of ketchup.
Well, I mean, oh my god,
Sorry, I
that
just bumped
that
the
made
ta-
a spike.
I just bumped the table. Whoops.
I don't know. I have this vision of the future of this podcast where like we're gonna be adults, like,
Where we make
with
money from
lives. No, not even that.
Oh.
But like when we're actual real adults with like lives,
Yes.
we could still be doing this, and how cool would that be? Like,
Could be a lot of work.
it could be a lot, but like, how fun would that be?
It'd be fun.
I don't know. I just was thinking about that. I was thinking about my brother, where art thou? And it's like that's how they stay in touch. Is like they'll
That's
call
how
each
they
other and
Catch up.
that's how they catch up with each other.
Wow.
I don't know. I was just thinking about that the other day.
Think about the future.
You have any thoughts on the future? Or?
Think about when we get our sponsors finally.
Hey, we could have started it already. You want to wait?
Well, I want to, get our listener base up a little bit, get more subscribers,
Hey, speaking of listeners, feel free to rate us and leave a review and tell your friends to listen to us. If you like our podcast, which if you're listening to episode 21, you probably do because it's been over an hour.
Make sure you double tap that Vine and
We should be uploading these to Vine. What are we thinking?
Vine doesn't exist anymore.
We'll bring it back just for the podcast. But yeah, please spread the podcast around.
Hit us up on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
What's that app that you hit us up on?
What app?
What app?
Yeah. I'm pretty good.
Great. All right.
All right. With that, see you in the fall.
Bye-bye.
Have a good summer.
Bye-bye.
Hags.
Hags?
Have a great summer.
No.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.